Hey everyone, Flannel here. This is episode 16 of my No Skin to Pro Scrim series. This series is designed to be short, sweet, and educational, so let's get right into it. Episode number 16, How to Use and Defend Against the Grappler. The Grappler is easily one of my favorite tools for combat in Fortnite. Knowing when to use it and how to use it can give you a serious advantage against even some of the best players in the game. Here's some information and tips for the Grappler to ensure you understand how it works and take advantage of its unique characteristics. Grappler Overview. The Grappler is an item that shoots a plunger that sticks to any structure within its range of 6 horizontal tiles or 8 vertical tiles. Then, it pulls you towards that structure at high speeds. Any attempt to stick to something further than its limit will result in 1.5 seconds of time wasted, since the plunger takes some time to retract. During this time, you are a vulnerable target and will most likely take damage if facing an opponent, so it's very important to keep the maximum distance in mind when using the Grappler in combat. Grappler Details. The Grappler can be used in any situation where you can draw a straight line to the target you are trying to reach. If anything is obstructing this straight line, by even a pixel, you will most likely knock into it and ruin the flow of your plan of action. Let's say the Grappler fails and you are about to take fall damage because of it. The Grappler is fast enough to pull your velocity either forwards or upwards to cancel out the fall damage, depending on how close the nearest object you can attach to is. This function is also spammable, so if you find yourself still not quite in the position you want to be in after one grapple, you can always just keep attaching to the next in-range structure, similar to being Spider-Man. Combat uses. Use the Grappler to connect to the top of an enemy structure to quickly take high ground and fire a shotgun at your enemy. Due to the nature of the Grappler, you will be able to pull out your shotgun before touching the tile you are landing on, allowing you to take a deadly shot at your enemy while still in the air. Odds are, you are going to be in very close quarters with the enemy at this point, so be sure to build before they fire back at you if they survive the first shot. My go-to tactic is to grapple, fire, and quickly build a floor and a stair to solidify my high ground position. Use the Grappler for a Spider-Man approach to aggressive play. Do this by vaulting yourself towards an enemy with grapples in rapid succession. This will not only make you a hard target to hit, but you will turn this mid-range encounter into a close-range one much faster than most enemies would expect. Use the Grappler to relocate in a number of ways. You can go from a situation where an enemy is about to edit kill you, to instantly being on top of Trump Tower firing down at them. You can go from getting knocked off of a build fight to recovering with high ground. You can go from getting spammed with P90s to death to 100 meters away if you spam the Grappler enough to create distance. Experiment with the Grappler, and you'll probably find a bunch of uses that I didn't even state in this video. Defense against the Grappler. The Grappler is very dangerous in the hands of the enemy. In less than 2 seconds, the enemy can be on top of you from one quick click, as we've seen throughout the video. Because of this, it's important you can react as fast as possible to a Grappler play. Grapplers sound like this. As soon as you hear this sound, you can do 2 things to maintain the high ground. One is stare off where they are grappling, and then floor off the surrounding structures. The stare ensures that they do not vault over your structure no matter what, and the floors ensure that they do not grapple again. The second option is slightly more advanced and requires some practice to get right, but it's definitely satisfying when executed correctly. When you know exactly where an enemy is grappling, place a stair directly over the tile they are using to grapple. Because the Grappler vaults players slightly above the tile they are connecting to, they will more often than not smack their head into your stair. Once this happens, you can place a floor under them to catch them and wrap walls around them to finish them off with an edit or trap kill. And finally, if the enemy is horizontal to you rather than below you, just use walls to block off their attempt and they'll fall down. This concludes episode 16, How to Use and Defend Against the Grappler. If you are comfortable with the tips provided in this video, feel free to move on to the next one, which will focus on the turret. If you like this video, feel free to like or subscribe, and as always, see you next video.